Just two adjacent girls living in a lovely world. They took a podcast train going anywhere, but kind of specifically through Austin, Texas. Yeah, hook 'em horns.
Wow, welcome back, y'all. Welcome to Adjacent. We are recapping episode 4 of Hunting Wives. I cannot. Wow. I think any of you that know me, I had to fast forward through some of those scenes because I felt a little uncomfortable. But man, oh man, were they going for it? They were getting to it.
They're getting to it. I don't know what they call it. I don't know what they call it in the Carolinas, but in Texas, we call it getting to it.
Getting to it.
And we're just going to talk about how this was not filmed in Texas, obviously.
Nope. Obviously not. Has no resemblance to Texas. Sure, we have piney forest and we have rivers and we have all that beautiful thing, but there aren't a lot of log cabins. There might be some, not as many as you would think. But like we said, Maple Brook was definitely not filmed in Texas. We looked it up. They're trying real hard to make us look real crazy. We are crazy. I am not that crazy. Yeah, so it first starts with them talking about the Casey Cremel who is missing and nobody knows where she is and they're looking for her. And then one of the main characters or the investigator gets shot looking for her. And then it flips back to what's going on with the finding out who the killer of Abby is. So they're doing a full investigation. It's quite crazy. Abby's poor mom's star. I have to tell you, Shelly, when she got those shoes in the mail, it just made my heart hurt. I was like, no. And then I felt bad for Brad too. Like you could tell he really loved Abby. He just was being like in his own way, but he was given so many back. I mean, he's definitely a red flag all the time, but you could tell he felt really sad that his girlfriend had been killed. Didn't you feel the same way? Or no, you didn't feel the same way?
I feel like he knows who the suspect is, and he is shocked.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I feel like he feels. And FYI, guys, I'm on episode 4. I'm speculating.
This is speculating. You think the mom did it.
And I think mom did it. And I think Brad knows that mom did it. And I think that's why he's devastated. It's like, oh my God.
It's his fault the girl got killed because, okay. Well, I did think it was really creepy when Brad's mom came in to kind of get their story straight together about that he was restricted, grounded, and they were binging a movie show together, and then she made these great nutter butters. And when he was in the shower and she was like talking to him, and he could tell by her boot steps that it was her, which also makes me feel grossed out, makes me sad for him, that maybe he's being abused in different ways as well. And then when he came out of the shower, she looked him up and down while she's going over her nutter butter thing. I wanted to vomit. I felt bad for him on that. So they're basically in the midst of a big investigation. And so they have been, working through trying to figure out who is involved in all of this. And they keep saying, like, why is this happening in our small town? And I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot. So what did you think of how the cops were doing? I feel like obviously the main cop, Salazar, is going to be like, she's going to be the Silence of the Lamb finder out of what's going on, with the big crime. She's definitely going to be the hero in the end, I think. I hope nobody kills her. But she already almost got killed the last time. So I think she's going to survive and find it through. That's my prediction. I don't know.
Yeah.
What did you feel?
I feel like she's the only one at the police station that does their job, and she's on medical leave.
I know.
She's
showing up. She's like,
she's still
showing
showing up.
investigation.
Yeah, and it's like, huh. And not answering calls. It's like, I'm busy right now. I'm not gonna answer call. And then hot cop who's having sex with sheriff cop, just looking so pretty and not paying attention to nothing. It's like she comes in, she's the only one that is doing anything.
Yeah.
It felt a little like Barney Fife, like,
Oh my gosh, I know, those small town. I'm like, there are some great small town police officers, but boy, they are being handed themselves some craziness for sure.
Well, and I mean, we lived in Jackson Hole, and they don't deal with all this. They're dealing with, grizzly bears. Grizzly bear tore up my garage, or a moose, tore up my car, or whatever. And so that is not where their focus is. And then something like this happens, but it's so crazy, the manipulation from their partners and how everybody's manipulating everybody. And it reminds me back to that Big Little Lies. It's like, it's not the name of it, with Nicole Kidman and Reese Witherspoon and all of them. It's like everybody had these little things going on, and nobody's getting the real story.
Yeah.
It's like fascinating. And I know the nudity and everything, it was shocking, and I think they do it on the front end, and you can see it dying down, and now it's getting to a story that Jody's gonna really like. It's like a murder.
Yeah, like, all right, we don't have to go that crazy on it. I will tell you, when we go to Crested Butte, we love to get their newspaper, and they call it Busted in the Butte. And then they basically like list all the criminal activities or people that have been busted. Usually it's like somebody was riding their bike from Talk of the Town after having a few drinks, and they got busted in the Butte for public intoxication. One time when Cameron was at Emory, a girl got busted on College, and they said they were arresting her, and they said, "Who's the president?" And she goes, "Coors Light."
When busted in the Butte, my favorite thing about like Crested Butte news is like somebody left their water bottle and their
on the lower loop. Come find it.
It's on the Maroon Bell.
Right.
And it's like
I know, they're so sweet. The lost and found, and then the busted in the Butte. The busted in the Butte, they'd save it for the newspaper, but the lost and found, they do it over their free radio, which I don't even know if that's in existence anymore, but I love it. I love their NPR up there. It's so fun to listen to. Anyway, back to the show. So with this, they're in the middle of a full, so of course, Margot and Sophie,
get it on.
Get it on. They do all their stuff. It's very sexy. Their nips are rock hard. I've never in my life. They must have had to use so much like stimulant to get nips that hard. But
they're tweaking.
They're like, we need the nipple tweaker over here.
I'd like to be your nipple tweaker. They dropped the temperature down to like 45 for that scene.
That's why their skin's all like, on. But so then they decide to go, they're like, we're going to go to the vigil for the missing girl and Abby, who was just murdered. And by the way, that crime scene with the gunshot, the exit wound, and then the entrails from the feral hogs, which is what we call them in Texas.
Well, but this is the proof that it wasn't in Texas. The Boers, North Carolina, not in Texas.
Yeah. We call them feral hogs. John has done a helicopter hunting thing where you hunt wild boars or wild hogs, feral hogs, from a helicopter, and that was really quite fascinating. They are a very dangerous creature that are very damaging, not just to the land, but to any animal or person living in that area. They will charge at you. They will, they're very, very dangerous. So
And they're
there are
and they're
places, and they're very fast. And there are places like in the national parks and the state parks in Texas where they give people passes to come and hunt to rid of this type of creature because they are really dangerous. Now,
No, and Jody, when they offer those hunting days, they do not say, "Hey, we're having a boar hunt." They say, "We're having a feral
hog hunt." Yeah.
So maybe in North Carolina they have boar hunts, but whoever wrote the script messed up.
Yeah.
Thinking there were boar hunts in Texas.
Yeah, we call them different. I mean, maybe somebody else calls them different, but you're definitely not from Texas if you call them boar hunting.
Yeah.
We call it feral hog hunting.
Yeah, you call it feral hog.
But we could tell this was not filmed in Texas, and I don't know. I need to deep dive the actual author.
Well, our producer, Jordan, lives in the Carolinas, and she goes, "Oh, I was getting ready to start this series because it was filmed here in Charlotte."
Yes. So we know it's Charlotte. So anyway, they go to the vigil, and things are going on because Margot's husband is running for governor, and he goes
and he decides to make this the opportunity to announce that he's running for governor.
So gross. And then I will say the bolo ties are not my favorites fashion, but they have grown on me in recent years, but I do think they're kind of odd. They're very, very specific for people that do wear them. It's like you're making a calculated decision when you wear a bolo tie. So
I would like to see the data on how many governors in the state of Texas wore a bolo tie.
Oh, never. I think they're never been worn. I think
how many in the Carolinas? Maybe it's normal over there.
No, I think they're basically trying to say this is. I know when our cousin Tracy married her husband Donovan, he wore a bolo tie to the wedding.
It was Travis, not Donovan.
No,
first husband.
Because it was at the dance hall. I remember.
Okay.
Because we were living here. Living here. Yep. But I remember he looked very handsome in it. But I just was like, oh, okay. And then, but it looked good on him. And then I did love that dance hall that they had their reception in. It was really cute. Anyway, so then, so they're sitting there and they're at the visual, and then the stupid Margot's stupid husband, which I don't care how much money you have, no thank you. He makes an arse of himself completely by saddling up to Star, the mom of Abby, who is this sweet angel, and he it's like a photo op for him, and then he says he wants to be governor. Weird. At a vigil, which you do not do. And then all of a sudden, the popo show up.
The popo.
Yep. Why did the popo show up?
Because they finally answered their phone.
Yes.
And they found out that gun was used somewhere else.
Yes, in Winnsboro. In Winnsboro, Texas, there was a where they were sticking up like a 5 and dime or a Dollar Tree or something. I'm like, what? Anyway, so, and then what happened? Where did they go? What did they do, Shelly?
They took Sophie downtown.
Yeah. So Winsboro is a city near Franklin. It's north of Tyler. It has a very small population too. And somebody held up the Winn-Dixie or the Dollar Tree or the Dollar General, and that gun that Sophie had bought out of peer pressure. She would not have gotten in all this trouble if she had not been affixed to peer pressure. So somebody had to know that. You are right on, Shelly. Somebody had to know that she had just bought that gun.
Well, somebody had to help her buy that gun, and I have a flag. She has a felony. How'd she buy a gun?
Well, she said she had a very good lawyer, so it maybe would have been possibly expunged less than felony. Maybe it was, but felonies, I don't know. I mean, there's different classes of them. There's misdemeanor. I don't know. Maybe they said it was a vehicular manslaughter, unintentional. I don't know. So, but one of those 6 girls, I think it's 5 or 6 girls that she went and did this with, has to be one of the culprits. Possibly. I'm thinking. Well, unless it's Sophie herself, which doesn't seem so, because somebody would have to persuade her to do it because she falls for peer pressure faster than anybody else I've ever met.
Where was Margot's brother?
He was like out in the sticks.
I know, but was it Winsboro? Where's Margot? Okay.
I don't think so.
That would be DUMB.
Yes.
But she might have. Here's something I would like to know is, what does One-Eyed Jack know? What does One-Eyed Jack know?
One-Eyed Jack. One-Eyed Jack must know something. But I think he's also a red herring too. I think he's probably going to try to pin it on the creepy guy from Louisiana, Pastor Pete. And so, guys, I went ahead and made a dry erase board with a bunch of red string.
Prove it.
I'm just kidding. But I'm like, all right, so we got Sophie, and then we got her dumb husband who needs to dump her, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
But raise your hand, or never have I ever told my husband I was coming home, and then the party went longer than I thought it would with my girlfriends, and then but now I have never taken it to the lengths that Sophie and Margot but wow. Oh my gosh, those girls are nuts. Anyway, so the cops show up at the vigil, which I'm like, do you have to show up to the vigil and make such a scene? You do not have to do that right then. And they come.
Jody, it's in the script.
Well, yes, of course.
I know. It's one of the things Adrian used to say to me all the time. It's like, I'd be like, well, why did they do that? Why did they do that? And he's like, it's in the script. And I was like, well, obviously it's in the script.
Well, so then so Sophie is pulled into a cop car, and she's having to figure out what's going on. Why am I getting looped into this? Because she was like doing so many drugs and alcohol, she doesn't remember anything. Also, what do you think it meant when they said that Abby's ring finger had marks suggesting she was in a relationship, but it had been removed?
Yeah, what is that? I feel, and this is why it leans back to Brad's mom for me.
Yes.
Is that they had made a commitment that Brad's mom did not appreciate. And so, and maybe it was a ring from his family or whatever. So she was like, how dare you? But I could also see Pastor Pete following her through the woods?
I don't know. I think he's a red herring too. I am starting to agree with you. I think
what is a red herring? What do you mean by this?
A red herring, I learned this from Tammy, by the way, but it's when you they try to take you down a different road to kind of get you like, yeah, it's a distraction. Like you're like, oh, it could be it could be Pastor Pete because he's like a pedophile and he's a horrible person and he brings airport size liquor bottles to try to like coax the kids to hang out with him because he's the cool youth minister. And it's like, no, he's just a pedophile, creepy, gross person. But he might not be a murderer, you know.
Well, and another sign that this is not in Texas is Pastor Pete is constantly wearing a beanie. It's too hot. It's too damn hot for a damn beanie.
Oh, but Shelly, that's him trying to show that he's one of the youths. He's a youth.
It's like, no. Well, and I don't know.
And Pastor Pete is probably 28 hanging out with like 14, 15, and 16-year-olds. It's kind of gross.
Yeah, him sitting in the car, like
playing with himself while he's looking at somebody else's Instagram.
While the pastor's wife drives past him.
Well, luckily she didn't go, is that you, Pastor Pete? What are you doing in there?
It's like, yeah, that's strike number 75 that this isn't filmed in Texas, with the beanie. Yeah, there's so many interesting twists and turns on this. It's very, but did you see at the beginning where they give you the little, like, here's a little thing? And it was Margot dead. Margot with blood on her.
That's the intro. But I could see somebody killing Margot for sure.
Yeah.
And Sophie's going to end up figuring it all out in the end.
Yeah.
Her and Salazar.
Okay, who in all of the show do you find to be the most annoying person in all of the show?
Mostly all of them. But I'm going to say, I think Sophie's complete dumb fall for peer pressure pisses me off because she's an adult human. Like, why? Why would you do that? Why would you fall for that much?
Did you not see Margot's nipples? They're amazing.
Look, I have to tell you, if I was in a bathroom and anybody came in and had a dress on and dropped their complete dress off the first time I met them, I would be like, I'm never hanging out with any of these people. That is the weirdest thing.
Access.
Ever. You could not, And then, buy a gun. I'm not a gun person, but okay, I'm going to buy a gun. I'm going to go and I'm going to take the rifle and shoot like a wild boar because I'm getting peer pressured. Oh, I'm going to have sex with a young kid because I'm being peer pressured. Oh, I'm going to snort a line of Adderall because I'm being peer pressured. I haven't drank in a great year and then I'm going to be peer pressured. I'm like, this is too much. Like, I'm just like, get hold of your life. And then her husband and her son are just sitting at home. Like, I'm just like, I don't know. We all do dumb shit, but she takes it to a whole nother level of stupidity. I'm just like, you've got to get yourself under control.
What would you do if you woke up after the last thing you remember? You're playing Spin the Bottle. That's the last thing you remember. And then you wake
52. Up. I'm not paying Spin the Bottle.
Exactly.
Spin the Bottle is like wherever it lands, you have to go do a chore.
Clean that.
If it lands on you, you have to take the laundry out of the dryer and fold it and put it away. That is my level of Spin the Bottle.
But if you woke up, like you went through all of this, and then you woke up and you're on the dock.
Oh.
And you wake up.
Shelly, look, I'm not saying I am
and you see your phone, and John has called five times. Really?
I
Just
know.
five?
He would have called more than 5. I'm like, wow, he does not love me.
I have
Also,
to.
whatever happened to find my phone? Like, I'd be like, I'm coming to get your ass. We are not,
And be like, excuse me. I can't comprehend it. Okay, well, I love you. Go watch episode 5.
Oh, God.
Just joking. We'll do it tomorrow.
Okay, for sure. I love you.
Texas, Texas. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.